This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From BBC News, at least 1,000 people killed and 1,500 injured in Afghan earthquake. At least 1,000 people were killed by a 6.1 magnitude earthquake in eastern Afghanistan on Tuesday, alongside more than 1,500 officially tallied injuries, with more of both expected in the coming days as rescue efforts continue. The earthquake hit at around 1:30 a.m. local time, and many people were sleeping when their houses collapsed around them. This is the deadliest earthquake to hit the region in about 20 years, and the Afghan government has reached out to the UN for support as local infrastructure, especially government and health infrastructure, is still somewhat frail following the Taliban's recapture of the country late last year. From New Atlas, America's first CRISPR trial is still nearly 100% effective 3 years on. New data presented at the European Hematology Association Congress showed that one of the longest-running CRISPR technology-based human trials, which treated a pair of rare genetic blood diseases, remains effective 3 years after treatment. CRISPR technologies, broadly, allow researchers to snip bits of genetic code out of a living creature or insert new gene sequences into the same. In this case, back in 2019, stem cells were gathered from 2 patients' blood, a single genetic change was made, and the stem cells were then re-administered. Those first 2 patients were essentially cured of their genetic blood diseases within months, and a follow-up last year indicated that 22 patients had been treated using the same process, all with 100% success. This most recent announcement indicated that 75 patients have now been treated using this process, 44 of them suffering from transfusion-dependent beta thalassemia and 31 with severe sickle cell disease. And all but 2 of the first group were cured, the uncured 2 requiring lower transfusion volumes moving forward, and all the sickle cell patients were cured. Importantly, those 2 initial patients who were treated 37 months earlier were still cured with no waning of treatment efficacy. And from Al Jazeera, biggest railway strike in 30 years strands commuters in UK. More than 40,000 railway workers across the UK have gone on strike, stranding many commuters in the train-reliant country after last-minute negotiations failed to result in a breakthrough. The Railway Workers' Union has accused the UK's Conservative government of preventing rail firms from offering sufficient raises to employees during a period of high inflation and massive cost of living increases. And the government has countered that significant pay raises could further amplify local inflation, which is currently Europe's highest, coming in at 9.1% for the 12-month period ending in May. About 20% of passenger trains are still running as scheduled, and only about 45% of the whole train network is operating at all. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.